Hello, my name is Ray Salazar, and this is Morning Reel, a 200 minute or so podcast of films that I review, all nations of all kinds of colors, black and white, Technicolor, Italian, Japanese, Mexican, American. I want to talk about very briefly about this film called Lamb. Yes, lamb, like a man, lamb. In Icelandic, it's called Dýrið, which is the literal translation of the animal. It's a 2021 folk horror film directed by Valdimir Johansson. Bear with me with the freaking credits. Here we go. Directed by Valdimir Johansson, written by Johansson and Sean, produced by Marcin Drabinski, Fyodor Gustafsson, Susanna Hanks, Ron Kristens Dotier, John Mankel, Sarah Nassim, Jan Nazuski, Eric Riedel, and Claudia Smeja Rosworowska. Dude, like, it's a long ass name. Starring Numi Rapaz, who's an OG, Hilmer Snare Gonson, Bjorn Leonard Haraldsson. Sorry, dude. Ingvar Egert Sugaroson. Cinematography by Elin Aronson. Edited by Agnieszka Glinska. Music by, man, and dude, the first letter of this name, dude, it picture a D, but like the D is in the middle of the line. So it's like in between a P and a D. How do you even know how to pronounce it, dude? I'm just going to say Puranin Gunnarsson. There we go. Production companies. Go to Sheep, Boom Films, Black Spark Productions, Marans M Corp, Film Invest, Chimney Sweden, Chimney Poland, and Rabbit Hole Productions. A lot of distributors right here. Senna, which is in Iceland, Triart Film, which is in Sweden, and Gutek Film, which is in Poland. It came out in 2021 in Cannes, Iceland, Poland, Sweden, and, amongst smaller towns in America, right? This movie made a 3.2 million box office, requirement. This film's crazy, dude. This is one of those films where it's kind of slow, not very slow, because it's a 107-minute film. So, I mean, imagine to pack all that in 107 minutes. Which is in Iceland. Triart Film, which is in Sweden, and Gutek Film, which is in Poland. It came out in 2021 in Cannes, Iceland, Poland, Sweden, and, amongst smaller towns in America, right? This movie made a 3.2 million box office, requirement. This film's crazy, dude. This is one of those films where it's kind of slow, not very slow, because it's a 107-minute film. So, I mean, imagine to pack all that in 107 minutes. That's little to like almost 2 hours, But here we go, man. This family, well, it's not even a family, it's a couple, right? Maria and Ingvar, they pretty much run this farm, dude. And this farm have a lot of sheep in it. And they tend to the farm. It looks like they got a big old, like, patch of land, dude. Like, as far as the eye can see. And, like, it's a beautiful setting, really. It's cold. You can see that it's cold because you see the fog come in. But you see these, and you also see these mountains, these icy mountains. But they're like, I don't know what period they are in as far as like beautiful mountainside of sorts, like you don't see trees much, if at all. I mean, you see like maybe a lake or a big old pond or whatnot, but you see these beautiful mountains and it just looks like they're in the middle of nowhere, really. I mean, there's like unpaved roads. They're roads, but they're unpaved. They're black, not paved very well, but you see it. Very simple. They tend to these sheep. They have like a lot of sheep, right, with the dog and all that. And one day, they witness the birth of this sheep, and what they witness is just something literally out of the norm. It's like something that you would never expect in this three-dimensional space, right? But This is the part where it gets hard for me to even talk about it because if I just tell you, I mean, it'll probably shy you away or you'll be like hooked. First 15 minutes, you're hooked. It's slow. You're kind of wondering what's happening. You know, these are two boring people, right? Or a boring couple. And next thing you know, they witness this, sheep that comes out of this pregnant sheep and they just start taking care of it, like if it was their own. And like, what I love about this film is it's very mysterious, things uncover as the film goes, right? And these are events that happened in the film where it's not really motivated by like, oh my god, like what do we got to do, what's the catch here? It's just like life happening and these people are living in this life. And as things go, they open up to certain things. And even if they don't even talk about it, we see it, as the audience. We see it. Obviously, the director uncovers it, and it's nice. Very mysterious, very eerie. It's not so scary much, but this family takes care of this sheep. They have a good time taking care of it. And you discover that that they had a daughter who passed away. Even that's mysterious in itself. They have a brother who just like sort of just gets dropped off from a trunk from a Volvo, and this brother's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go to my brother's house, right? My brother's farm, and he makes it. He witnesses a murder that happens. I'm not gonna tell you what. He witnesses it. Maria does the action, right? Played by Noomi Rapace. And even like the involvement that the brother has in this film, even that gets uncovered. Like, who is he? What does he do? Blah, blah, blah. We don't know. There's a twist, especially like towards the end of the second act. And the twist even gets more hard edged in the third act. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you, but this is a film where it's going to keep you glued to your seat because you actually want to know what the hell's going on. You just kind of ask yourself, what's going on? What am I watching? Like, is this really normal? And it's normal. At least to them, it's normal. And we think like, are these people like really just out of their minds? But it doesn't look like it. I think they're fine overall. Maybe their trauma has not been like, I'm not going to say cured, but they haven't really got in tune with their trauma. I mean, they do mourn, but there's just so much out there that they need to like rediscover again. And man, how we rediscover the actions of these people. And I mean, the moral of this film, because there is a moral to it, which is basically don't mess with nature, don't mess with animals, because when you mess with an animal, man, it's gonna come back at you in some way, And this film is crazy. And like, even when you see the witness of the birth happening, you ask yourself like, man, like this, what did this guy do? Like I thought that, I'm like, man, did this guy do something like for this to happen? But it turns out that you really do crap, And I just like how the events unfold. Cinematography is beautiful, man. Like, it looks very beautiful where they live. Like, even the simple life that they have, especially herding the sheep, fixing up a tractor that just breaks down over time. It's just fun to watch. It's not a slow burner, but it's those films where you're just strapped and you just want it to come over you, man. And it happens, and it's great. Honestly, I would give this film a good 3.5 stars, man, because I mean, it's a simple story. Honestly, when you look at the plot, it doesn't make too much sense, but it's a good story, And it's very effective because you don't need to see like blood. You don't need to see the action going down in certain parts of the scenes, right? It just makes you want to jump. And I jumped a little bit. I would recommend this film to anybody. It's on Prime Video. I actually wanted to see this film when it came out a couple of years back, but it just didn't happen. So I'm glad that I got to see it. And it's foreign too. It's all in its native language. And that's great. Follow me on Morning Shot Films, IG and YouTube. Check out my YouTube at Morning Shot Films. On to the next one. Thank you.